Crack? What's the crack? What's the crack? What's the crack, ladies and gents? Sorry for being a little bit late. I hope you're very well. Chris here, clocking in and logging on to hang out with you for the next 90 minutes on this absolutely awful Tuesday evening in Dublin. Hope you're having a lovely week wherever you are. And you're flitting on to our little online quiz. Thanks for joining us this evening. We've got 6 rounds as always. General knowledge, pop culture, sports and games, tomorrow in history, what a country, alphabet soup. And our bonus round today, same as it was last week, is Pixelated. It's that new round concept we're working on. I really enjoyed it last week, even if you guys didn't. I think this week's going to be slightly easier. I tested this week's Pixelated on a friend of mine who got it first time. Now, I tested on a bunch of other friends of mine who didn't get it at all. So, I think it's hopefully the right level of difficulty. Bonsoir indeed. Scoreboard's filling up nicely. Thanks for joining us. And sorry if you didn't get our email today. We sent them, but some people didn't get them. So I don't know if Gmail en masse has decided we're spam, which would be a shame. Let me check. Oh, it has. No. Jeez, I'll tell you what. YouTube is trying to shut us down. Gmail has decided as of this week that we're spam. Do us a favor. If our email got ended up in your spam box this week, and you don't want it to end up in your spam box, if you do us a favor and jump in and click report not spam. And then hopefully that'll stop it going in for everybody else. But who knows? Anyway. Is there anything else that I need to sort of do in terms of housekeeping? The awful world of professional work is going to probably require me to miss next Tuesday's quiz as well. I'm so sorry. This is becoming an awful habit. But I will probably be back on the road. We have Lions T, Dumb and Dumber, You're a Quizzer, Team Glenn, Quarantine, Turner, Frazzle Dazzle, Team Kalala, the Intrepid Quizzers, Sun Civil Servants, One Mobster, Keller, I'm a Brain, an amazing team, Total Landscaping. You're all very welcome. I'm very, very stoked to have all of you here. No real need to sort of muck about any longer. Let's do something that I think I forgot to do last week, and alrighty. Let's get going. He's been squinting at pixelated pictures all week in training. Good. Great to hear. Great to hear. Round one, as always, is general knowledge. Team captains, you should, for the first time this evening, be able to see your answer sheets. And let's get going. What was the first airplane that was dubbed a jumbo jet? There's no industry definition for what a jumbo jet is and isn't, as far as I'm aware. It's sort of a common understanding, a common lexicon that'll get something. Jumbo jet status. What was the first airplane that was dubbed a jumbo jet? Question 2. What item gives the Green Lantern his power? So, just getting over to some Marvel now. We've been joined by a team called Lone Star State. I want to know if they're actual Texans. Because if we have actual Texans with us, you're very, very welcome. I mean, if we don't have actual Texans with us, you're still very, very welcome. That's the nature of the beast. What item gives the Green Lantern his power? It's not by any chance just a little green kind of lantern, is it? No? Okay. What US city has the name meaning the Meadows in Spanish? Tadmeister's a little bit late. Tadmeister's under the regular name? What US city has a name meaning the Meadows in Spanish? Question 4. Jazz musicians sometimes refer to which instrument as a licorice stick? Jazz musicians sometimes refer to which instrument as a licorice stick? Question 5. What game does the Queen of Hearts order Alice to play in Alice in Wonderland? What game does the Queen of Hearts order Alice to play in Alice in Wonderland? Question 6. What's kept in a ship's binnacle? Jeez, I don't know a lot of these. And I know a lot of nautical nonsense. It is something I wish for. What is kept in a ship's binnacle? Question 7. Disney's Frozen was inspired by a fairy tale called what? $15, obviously not the packed scoreboards we've had before, but still one of the larger table fishes in a while, so the pressure's ramping up tonight. Disney's Frozen was inspired by a fairy tale called what? Question 8. Somnoplasty is a surgical procedure used to treat what common affliction? And up next is our game Pixelated. Somnoplasty is a surgical procedure used to treat what common affliction? I think the minimum we ever had on one quiz might have been last week. No, last week was 11. No, like 9 maybe? I don't know. There's a threshold in my mind where I'm like, hey lads, do you want to just not do it this week? But every time I think we've reached it, I'm like, nah, I'm still going to do it. So here we go. Anyway, somnoplasty is a surgical procedure used to treat what common affliction. All right. If you weren't here last week, this is... Oh, that's where it is. Okay, well, this is meant to be up front. Anyway, if you weren't here last week, this is our new bonus question. And it's where answer 9 goes in your answer sheet. So we're asking you to tell us what movie this is a film still from. Now, as you can see, the picture is quite pixelated. In fact, this 1080p resolution picture only has 10 pixels across the top and 7 up the side. So there's 100 times fewer pixels than you would expect. As such, it's very hard to tell this is. But over the course of the next 6 rounds, we're going to scale that down. We're going to go 100 and then 80 times fewer and then 60 times fewer and then 40 times fewer and then 20 times fewer. And then we're just going to show you the picture. By round 5, I think it'll be quite obvious what the answer to this is. But if you get the right answer now, you can continue to put that right answer down every single round and you can get a bonus point every single round for the rest of the quiz. So put down whatever your best guess is. If you get it right, I'll tell you, the absolute best of luck. I'll give you another few seconds to look at this, because if you're new and you didn't see it last week, you might be like, what the hell's going on? So just try to tell me that is a famous screenshot from a famous film. I guarantee you that when you see the clear version of this picture, you will know what film it is from. I can almost guarantee you. Just have a guess. And here is your recap slide for the round. What was the first airplane that was dubbed a jumbo jet? What city? What item gives the Green Lantern his power? What US city has a name meaning the meadows in Spanish? Jazz musicians sometimes refer to which instrument as a licorice stick? What game does the Queen of Hearts order Alice play in Alice in Wonderland? What's kept in a ship's binnacle? Disney's Frozen was inspired by a fairy tale called what? Somnoplasty is a surgical procedure used to treat what common affliction? Team captains, you have 2 minutes. It's 8:14. You have until 8:16 and a little bit of change. Get those answers in. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Fresh off missing last week's quiz, they've gone and shown you all up. You're a quizard, Harry. First ever pixelated round for them. And they got it. Not actual Texans in the Lone Star State, okay. Well, you're very welcome nonetheless. Yeah, I mean, the complete random guess, like I kind of feel like there would be a benefit in me not telling you you had got it right, because then you might randomly guess something else in round 2. But you can see why that will be pointless in just a moment. Team captains, just another 5 or 6 seconds. If you haven't already submitted your answers, do get it. So far, no one else has guessed our pixelated picture. In fact, of the 8 teams I've seen so far, I have 8 different guesses. And I'm collecting the answer sheets right now, so if you haven't already hit submit, please do hit it. See, this is going to make the game tricky for top teams now, because if you're a top team and you want to compete with your Quizit Harry for the win today, you're going to have to either get it next round or outscore them by a point every subsequent round, which is going to be tough. So let's get the rest of these corrected quickly. I need some like countdown style music. Oh, one of the teams. It's Tadmeisters. What US city has a name meaning the meadows? You put down loss as your answer. You knew it had to be the something. You put down loss. I feel like you should have got it off the back of that. The intrepid quizzers aren't actually playing. Dumb and Dumber. Here we go. Alright, let's go. Let's go. That was the pixelated. The first airplane that was the jumbo jet was the Boeing 747. We didn't accept, I know it's in brackets there, but we didn't accept Boeing on its own. It had to be 747, of course. Of course. Aer Lingus used to run a couple of them back in the day. Beautiful planes. The Green Lantern gets his power from a ring. It's an emerald ring for what it's worth, but a ring would have got you the points. The US city, the name Los was so close because it was Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. The Meadows in Spanish. A licorice stick is apparently a clarinet. Well done if you got that. The Queen of Hearts orders Alice to play croquet in Alice in Wonderland. A ship's binnacle contains the navigational equipment, but most specifically the compass, so well done if you got that. Disney's Frozen was inspired by a fairy tale called The Snow Queen. Sonoplasty is a surgical procedure used to treat snoring. Could probably do with it, I think. And that gets us on to round 2, pop culture. And our first look at the scoreboard, and an interesting scoreboard indeed. Lions T, Team Glenn, Quarantine and Turner, and One Mobster all got perfect scores in round 1. But your Requisite Harry got a perfect score in round 1, and they got our pixelated. So they're in the lead on, I think, Tablefish's first ever 9 points, or the first 9 points maybe since the first ever quiz. Lone Star State, Frazzle Dazzle, Team Kalala, and Amazing Team Total Landscaping, you guys got 6s. The Tadmeisters with Biscuits got 5s, and then there's a couple of teams hoping for a little bit of better luck in round 2. So with that, let's get on to pop culture. Team captains, you should be able to see your answer sheets, and let's go. What celebrity appeared at the end of this year's Late Late Toy Show? Big fans of the Late Late Toy Show here at Tablefish HQ. I loved the Late Late Toy Show. I love the memes. I love the banter. I loved those 2 DJ kids kind of ruining that kid who was singing Ave Maria. Like that all-time moment where you're like, you appear on the Late Late Toy Show to present your talent, and all anyone's gonna remember is kids in the background. What celebrity appeared at the end of this year's Late Late Toy Show? Question 2. In 2020, Netflix aired a reality TV show that required participants to remain celibate. What was it called? (2020) Netflix aired a reality show that required participants to remain celibate. What was it called? Question 3. Which member of the royal family was shot at twice in Sydney in 1994? You might have lost me there for a second, but a packet lost. Which member of the royal family was shot twice in Sydney in 1994? Oh, what's the maximum you ever had on one quiz, is what Thomas asked. 220 was the biggest quiz we ever did. 220 teams. Yeah, it wasn't. It was class. It wasn't easy though. And back then, the Tablefish platform wasn't as stable, and we were, not that it's the peak of stability now, but we weren't as good at real-time diagnosing problems and stuff. But anyway, which member of the royal family was shot at twice in Sydney in 1994? Question 4. What year did singer and legend Whitney Houston die? What year did singer Whitney Houston die? Question 5. Who sings the song Say So that's behind a popular TikTok dance? Who sings the song Say So that's behind a popular TikTok TikTok dance. Question 6. What model was once married to musician Seal? You know, Kiss from a Rose? There used to be a graying tower. That dude. I think he has one other mega hit, but Kiss from a Rose is the only Seal song that I'm really familiar with. What model was once married to the musician Seal? Question 7. Taylor Swift recently re-released a 10-minute version of her song All Too Well. It's allegedly about what famous celebrity? The 10-minute version of All Too Well is number 1 in the US Billboard charts at the moment. A 10-minute version of an old song re-released in the exact same way by the artist is number 1 in the US Billboard charts. If that doesn't tell you how much Taylor Swift fans love Taylor Swift, and rightfully so, then nothing will. It's insane. Taylor Swift's recently re-released 10-minute version of her song All Too Well is allegedly about what famous celebrity? Question 8. On the popular show Ted Lasso, what treat does the title character give his colleagues that they find irresistible? Alright, let's go a little bit less pixelated, shall we? So, the picture's a little clearer this round. I'll tell you what, I'll give you one tip. Because some of you will have this advantage inherently and some of you won't. And in particular, I'm thinking of probably the guys playing on their own. It is easier to see if you move further away from it. Your brain, when it looks far away, uses whatever, some genius in it to fill in the gaps. So look away. Anyway, that's pixelated. Here's your recap slide for the round. What celebrity appeared at the end of this year's Late Late Toy Show? In 2020, Netflix aired a reality show that required participants to remain celibate. What was it called? Which member of the royal family was shot twice in Sydney in 1994? What year did singer Whitney Houston die? Who sings the song Say So that's behind the popular TikTok dance? What model was once married to musician Seal? Taylor Swift recently re-released a 10-minute version of her song All Too Well. It's allegedly about what famous celebrity? On the popular show Ted Lasso, what treat does the title character give his colleagues that they find irresistible? Team Gams, you have 2 minutes. It's 26 and a half. You have until 28 and a half to get those answers in. Excited now to see some answers coming in. Glenn, you're out of the woods. Lone Star State, you've also got your pixelated. Well done. A quick reminder, if you get it, keep putting the correct answer in every single round. Team Captains, there's 20 more seconds on this round to get those answers in, so do get them in. I think, yeah. I think Kevin at this stage is possibly protesting Pixelated. Alright, collecting the answer sheet. So if you haven't already hit submit, please do hit it. Lions T, you've got your Pixelated. Well done. The rest of you, I think, are still looking. So let's pop over to the answers. The celebrity that appeared on this year's Late Late Toy Show was none other than Ed Sheeran. I think it's the second time. He's such a good sport about it. Singing along, playing with people, sticking around to play some games after. It's really hard not to like the dude, as amazingly successful as he is. Really hard not to like him. 2020 Netflix aired a reality show that required participants to remain celibate. It was called Too Hot to Handle. Team Kalala put down Drive to Survive as their answer, which is some sort of hilarious commentary on Formula 1 drivers, which is okay because it came from them. But Too Hot to Handle is what we were looking for. The member of the royal family shot twice in Sydney in 1994 was Charles, Prince of Wales. Whitney Houston died in 2012. Lots of people were hitting the dartboard on either side, 2011 and 2013. So well done if you guessed in the region. Well done, particularly if you got 2012. Say So is sung by Doja Cat. The model that was once married to Seal is, of course, Heidi Klum. Taylor Swift's recently re-released 10-minute version of All Too Well, and the original, I think, are about Jake Gyllenhaal, who dated her and wasn't very nice to her a number of years ago. On Ted Lasso, he bakes biscuits every day, and they are shortbread biscuits, although I never think it's explicitly said in the show. They certainly look like shortbread biscuits, so if you put down shortbread, I gave the points. First, I googled it to see if that was the first answer that came up when you googled it, and it wasn't, so I decided in good faith that I would give shortbread as an answer. It does look like shortbread, to be fair. That gets on around 3, sports and games. It's pronounced Heidi Klum. Did I say Klum? Yeah, whatever. My apologies to Heidi if she or any of her family are playing. Quick look at the scoreboard. We have Team Glenn now in the lead on 17 points. He had a 9-point round that round. Lions T, Euroquiz, 1 Mobster. You guys are all tied for second on 16. Lone Star in 5th on 14. Then Quarantine and Turner, Amazing Team Total Landscaping. You guys tied for 6th on 12. Dumb and Dumber Frazzle Dazzle tied for 8th on 11th. Kalala, the Tadmaster, and Civil Servants running at the top 10. And a couple of teams waiting on some better luck in sports and games. I think this is quite a hard sports and games round, so we'll see how that goes. But let's get rolling. Team Yamas should be able to see your answer sheets. And question 1. What former NFL player is now a successful actor, having appeared in Happy Gilmore, Rocky, and Predator? Heidi Klum? Really? Klum? Sometimes when I don't know how to pronounce a person's name, I don't know who they are. But I do know who Heidi Klum is. I've just pronounced her name Heidi Klum my whole life. What former NFL player is now a successful actor, having appeared in Happy Gilmore, Rocky, and Predator? Question 2. What club won the FAI Cup in the Aviva Stadium this weekend, beating Bows on penalties? Bit of League of Ireland football for you. It's not often asked about here on Table Fish Quiz. looked like a record attendance in the Aviva. I think it was a record attendance for League of Ireland Cup final. Looked like a decent match too. Question 3. In general, a triple-double in basketball refers to a player getting double digits in points, assists, and what? What is that third important thing in basketball? So if you've got 15 points and 10 assists, and 11 of these, you have a triple-double, which means you've had a very good game in offense. In general, triple-double in basketball refers to a player getting double digits, points, assists, and what? Question 4. The Ballon d'Or Femine was won this week by Alexia Putellas. What country is she from? The men's Ballon d'Or was won by Lionel Messi. But even he said in his speech it should have gone to Robert Lewandowski. Confusing times in France. Anyway, the Ballon d'Or Feminin, which is the women's Ballon d'Or, was won this week by Alexia Putellas. What country is she from? Question 5. How far out is a free taken in GAA if a defender knocks the ball dead behind their goal line? Nice and simple. If you've watched any GAA or hurling, you should know this answer. If you've played it, you should certainly know this answer. How far out is a free taken in GAA if a defender knocks the ball dead behind their goal? Question 6. The Madison, named after Madison Square Garden, is a competition format in what Olympic sport? Madison, named after Madison Square Garden, is a competition format in what Olympic sport? Question 7. How many lanes does an Olympic standard swimming pool have? How many lanes does an Olympic standard swimming pool have? Question 8. In fencing, what is the name of the action when two fencers make physical contact with any part of their bodies? In fencing, what is the name of the action when two fencers make physical contact with any part of their body? That one's quite technical. And here we go with a slightly less pixelated version of the same photo. Reminder, if you are Team Glen, Lions T, you're a Quizzard or Lone Star State, you've already got the answer right, but you still need to put the correct answer down in the question 9 box to get some points. If anyone has any other suggestions for questions that we could do of this format, you know, gradually increasing ease, happy to hear them. This one I quite like because it's visual, but whatever you guys think. And on we go to the recap slide. Oh, yeah, sorry, it's the break round, round 3. So before we go on to the recap slide, quick reminder, it is the end of the month. If any of you feel like contributing to Table Fish, go to www.table.fish/contribute or scan that QR code. We'd absolutely love some of your love. All of those contributions go to the team who do all the boring bits of making Table Fish work. They write the questions, they correct the questions, they occasionally test new concepts for games and parts of the quiz. They are not me. I do the bits I enjoy, which is sitting here talking nonsense to you for an hour and a half on a Tuesday. But if you want to support them, please scan that QR code or hit them up on Revolut, or hit me up on Revolut, and we'll get it through to them. A big thank you to everyone on the right hand side of the screen who has contributed over the past quarter or so. So with that, let's go on our recap side. What former NFL player is now a successful actor have appearing in Happy Gilmore, Rocky and Predator, amongst other credits? What club won the FA Cup in the Aviva Stadium this weekend, beating Bows on penalties? In general, triple-double in basketball refers to double digits, points, assists, and what? The Ballon d'Or Femine was won by Alexia Putellas. What country is she from? How far out is a free taken in GAA if a defender knocks the ball dead behind their goal line? The Madison, named after Madison Square Garden, is competition format in what Olympic sport? How many lengths does Olympic standard swimming pool have? And finally, in fencing, what is the name of the action when two fencers make physical contact with any parts of their bodies? Team captains, let's take 5 or 6. Let's come back for the second half of the quiz at 8:45. I will talk to you, beautiful people, then. All right, we're back. We're back. If you haven't already submitted your answers, submit them because I'm about to collect the answer sheets right now. Razzle dazzle, I find the composition of your team very, very interesting. I suspect you guys have some deep conversations. But I will make sure to acknowledge your answer as the correct answer when we go through the answers. I haven't turned the thing back on. What am I here to say? One mobster. You have our pixelated question, as does Amazing Team Total Landscaping. So well done to you guys. Points for ye. Well done. Let's flick over the answers to the round. Former NFL players, now successful actors, Carl Weathers. I don't know if you got that. A couple of different NFL players have made successful acting careers. Terry Crews is one of them. For example, O.J. Simpson is. What club won the FAI Cup in the Aviva Stadium this weekend? It was St. Pat's Athletic. First all Dublin final in a little while. St. Pat's against Bows. Atmosphere looked pretty good, to be honest. I was kind of jealous. A triple-double in basketball refers to a player getting double points, double-digit assists, and double-digit rebounds, which is when you catch the ball after it rebounds off the backboard from a shot that your own team took, so regaining possession in an attacking situation. Basically a turnover. Ballon d'Or Feminin was won this week by Alexia Putellas. She is from Spain. The prior two winners are from Norway and the United States. So she's the first Spanish winner. It's only the third time the award has been given. A free is taken in GA if a defender knocks the ball behind their goal from the 45-meter line. I've been quite generous with people who use the Imperial system and said 45 yards. It's the 45. That was kind of all that was important to me. The Madison, named after Madison Square Gardens, competition format in indoor cycling. Well done if you got that. How many lanes does an Olympic standard swimming pool have? It has 10. If you said 8, that's the mistake I would have made, but it has 10. And in fencing, I don't know if anyone got this. When two fencers make physical contact with any part of their bodies, it's called apparently a corps à corps, or a corpse a corpse. I don't know. Well done if you got that. That gets on around 4 tomorrow in history. These are all questions about December 1st. December 1st was an amazing day in history. Loads of stuff happened. Countries getting independence, losing independence, going to war, people dying, people killing, children hurt, and you hear them crying if you practice what you preach. Oh, everything. So it's so yeah, there was loads. Sorry, I didn't correct myself. Here we go. Alexia Putellas is from Catalonia, which is, of course, still unfortunately part of Spain. But just for our friends on Frazzle Dazzle. Let's start the next round. Kel, I'll have a look at that for you. Oh, it's I didn't know it was different for the two. That actually makes sense. I'll have a think about it. Team captains. I won't have a think about it. We're only accepting 45. Tomorrow in history, you should be able to see your answer sheets. Let's go. With no electoral college winner, the 1824 US election was handed over eventually to this man with initials JQA. He's the only US president to become US president without ever winning the electoral college or the popular vote. For clarity, what happened on December 1st, 1824 was the electoral college voted. And then when that didn't succeed, it was handed over to Congress to sort of decide a president. He didn't become president until February of the next year. But anyway, no electoral college winner, the 1824 US election was handed over eventually to this man with initials JQA. Question 2. In 1913, Greece took control of this island and still controls it today. A whole bunch of islands controlled by Greece. Many of you will know that. So, guess? I don't know. I think there's a couple of big ones this could be. And what you can do is make very educated guesses even if you don't know. But I don't know how many people will actually explicitly know this. Question 3. In 1988, a major European infrastructure project was begun. It cost around 18 billion euro and opened in 1994. What is it? So the project infrastructure. When we say begun, we mean the sort of physical part of it, right? Like not the planning, not the financing, not like the you know. Begun. 1988, a major European infrastructure project was begun. It cost around 18 billion euro in today's money and opened in 1994. What is it? Question 4. Also in 1988, the same year, the UN declared the first iteration of this annual day to raise awareness about a serious health threat. Tomorrow is that day. Some of you will be quite aware of it tomorrow. One of those things that you're probably less aware of in the kind of work from home world that we live in than you would have been going into the office where you might have seen campaigns around about the place. But 1988, the UN declared the first iteration of this annual day to raise awareness about a serious health threat. Question 5. In 1918, the Kingdom of Serbs, Croatians, and Slovenes was created on this day tomorrow, as in December 1st. What would this become known as? In 1918, the Kingdom of Serbs, Croatians, and Slovenes was created. What would it become known as? Question 6. 1934, Sergei Kirov was assassinated in the Soviet Union on this day tomorrow. Did I add this? Did I add that phrase? Anyway, directly leading to what historical event? In 1934, Sergei Kirov was assassinated in the Soviet Union, directly leading to what historical event? In 1955, Rosa Parks famously refuses to give up her seat on the bus in what US city? As I told you, loads of mental stuff happened. 1st of December. Listen, mark a card. Something crazy could happen tomorrow. Who knows? I predict an asteroid. In 1955, Rosa Parks famously refuses to give up her seat on the bus in which US city? Question 8. In 1969, because of the Vietnam War, this was introduced in the US for the first time since 1942. What was it? This is my favorite round, by the way, tomorrow in history. And the reason I say that is I just love it. I think it's a strong round. But it's obviously a gameable round. So we ask you in the honor of the quiz to never Google tomorrow in history before playing the quiz. 1969, because of the Vietnam War, this was introduced in the US for the first time since 1942. Here is your pixelated. It's getting a little clearer now. Those who have already got it are probably looking at it and being like, how could you not get it? And those who haven't got it are like, what is this? A quick reminder, if you've already got it, which is maybe about half the quiz at this stage, if you've already got it, continue to put the correct answer down. I'll revisit that next week is a way of doing things. But give it your best shot. And here's your recap slide for the round. With no electoral college winner, the 1824 US election was handed over eventually to this man with the initials JQA. In 1913, Greece took control of this island and still controls today. In 1988, a major European infrastructure project was begun and opened in 1994. What is it? Also in 1988, the UN declared the first iteration of this annual day to raise awareness about a serious health threat. In 1918, the Kingdom of Serbs, Croatians and Slovenes was created on this day. What would it become known as? 1934, Sergei Kirov's assassination directly led to what? In 1955, Rosa Parks famously refuses to give up her seat on the bus in what US city? And in 1969, because of Vietnam, this was introduced in the US for the first time since 1942. Team captains, you have 2 minutes as always. It's 8:55 and a half. You have until 8:57 and a half to get those answers in. Good luck. Glenn making me laugh. To your flippant but accurate answer to one of the questions. Quarantina Turner, you have got our pixelated. Well done. See if there's anyone else who got it for the first time this round. No, Team Captains, I'm collecting the answer sheets right now, so if you haven't already hit submit, please do hit it. Our next round is a picture round, so we'll switch over to the picture format. I hope you guys... Again, we're hesitant on doing music rounds because we have a suspicion that's what killed our YouTube account. So we'll see about getting them back in the not too distant future. We'll see about Chris doing one with a kazoo. The Tadmeisters, you've got pixelated. Well done to ye. Razzle dazzle. You two have got your pixelated. Let's pop over the answers to the round. With no electoral college, winner 1824 US election was handed over to John Quincy Adams, son of John Adams. In 1913, Greece took control of the island of Crete. Lots of guesses here. Corfu, Cyprus, Kos. All good guesses. Crete was what we were looking for. I figured it could really be broken down to like Crete, Rhodes, Corfu, and Cyprus is the ones that I expected people to give as answers. And it's much just once you're guessing between those four, but Crete is what we were looking for. 1988, a major European infrastructure project was begun. It was the Channel Tunnel. It took exactly a year for the two boring trains to meet, but they met on the 1st of December 1989. Also in 1988, the UN declared the first iteration of World AIDS Day to raise awareness about the growing threat that HIV/AIDS posed. That is tomorrow. You'll see the red ribbons around, so if you get a chance, support it. 1988, the Kingdom of Serbs, Croatians, and Slovenes was created. It would become known as Yugoslavia, of course. Sergei Kirov was assassinated in the Soviet Union, which directly led to the Great Purges. 1955, Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat in Montgomery, Alabama, leading to the Montgomery bus boycott. I don't know anything else about Montgomery, Alabama. It must kind of suck for that to be the only thing you're known for. Or maybe it doesn't. Maybe they're super proud. Hard to tell with Alabama which way that could go. 1969, because of the Vietnam War, this was introduced in the US. We were looking for conscription. What we were actually looking for was draft lottery. Was the first thing, but conscription was given. And that gets us on around 5. What a country. This is going to be a picture round. We're going to give you the outlines of countries. We're going to ask you to identify them. So, without any further mucking about. Oh, yeah, scoreboard. I think many people probably had their best rounds in that round. So, let's have a quick look. I also don't think I've updated the scoreboard in a while. Anyway, Glenn leads, tied with Kevin, one mobster and Team Glenn. First, Lions T and Euroquizard, one off on 32. Very, very spicy at the top of the table. They've all got the pixelated, so none of them are currently gaining or losing points on that. Lone Star in 5th, a little bit behind the pack. Best of the rest on 26. Quarantine Turner 25, keeping that pressure on. Uncivil Servants 24. Frazzle Dazzle Team Amazing Total Landscaping 23. And the Tadmasters running at the top 10 on 22. So very, very spicy. But well done to teams who had their best round of the quiz so far in round 4. That includes Caledonia McBrain, that includes Dumb and Dumber, that includes the Tadmeisters, who had their first 8, Frazzle Dazzle, who had their first 8, Uncivil Servants, who had their first 8, and 2 more 9s for one Mobster and Lions T. So well done to all of you. That gets on around 5. What a country. And I'll switch over to the format. Let's go. We need you to name the country. Obviously, this is the outline of the country. So just name this country. Which two? Who this is. Answer sheet's not enabled. Yeah, of course they're not, Chris. Because thank you, Thomas. Thank you, Trish. A quick reminder, this was country 1. Not the hardest, I'm sure you recognize it. This was country 2, a little tougher. And now we're on to country 3. Oh, what? It's one of them new countries with the straight lines. Sorry, that was a very imperialist sentence. Take that back. This is a country that probably deserved better than straight lines, if we're being honest. Question 4. What country is this? The thing is, this is one of those ones where you're like, what? Well, honestly, what country is that? I have no idea. Question 5. Question 6. Country is this. Question 7. I haven't a notion what country that is. I'm checking the answers. I'm too curious to keep going without. And question 8. Tricky round, I'd say. Question 8. All right. I need the recap slide just a second, just before I do. Second last version of this. We reckon there's a 9 out of 9. All right, here is your recap slide for the round. Let me go full screen. I'll disappear for a second. Hey. Give you 2 minutes. It's 21:08. I'll give you until 21:10 to get those answers in. Goodness, there were a few. There was. It was the quickest 9-point score I've ever got there from Glenn. Well done. Glenn, I don't know if you'd already got the pixelated or not, but you do now. I suspect that'll be true of most people. Anamad, sir, you got the pixelated correct. Team Cams, if you haven't already hit submit, please do hit it. I'm going to collect the answer sheets right now by force. So if you haven't hit submit, please do hit it. I know there's a lot to discuss, and it's very tempting. Have a little chin wag, but it's time to trust your gut and get those answers in. Thomas, your bet is very, very safe. Team Kalala, you got our pixelated. Amazing Team Total Landscaping noticed something I had also noticed, which is quite cool. And they got 9 points, so they absolutely destroyed that round. Well done to you guys. Dumb and Dumber, you got the pixelated. One mobster, was that like... Were you just not able to see the screen or something there, Kev? Scoundrels 4 inbound. For the record, I'm giving teams 5 if they have the bonus question. Maybe I should be giving them 4s. I'll revisit that policy next week. Let's go over the answers to the round. This is Denmark. There's the bit that joins on to Germany, and then there's the kind of bit that's near Sweden. Denmark. Anyway, Argentina, the land of silver. I can't give you any more points. You got a perfect 9. If you'd got an 8, I would have considered giving you a 9. I'll tell everyone why in a minute. This was Egypt. Very impressed with anyone who got it. I didn't come close to getting that, so well done if you got that. This here is Poland. A slightly more resolution version of the picture makes it a little easier to spot by that little flicky thing up at the top middle, but Poland is what we're looking for there. The wonderful city of Thailand, country of Thailand, 10 points. Yeah, but there's no function for me to give 10 points. The maximum I can give is 9, because that's what I said is the limit. I know, shocking. This is what me and Lauren are talking about. This is South Africa, obviously, but because South Africa completely encircles Lesotho, that is also the complete border of Lesotho. So this actually had 2 countries on it, South Africa and Lesotho. This country, I didn't know this. This is been cut in half by a line, which probably would have made it much too obvious. It was depicted on the map, but that is Panama. The Man of Planet Canal, Panama. Untrue, you have all the power, Chris. Look at all these things that you do. This is Austria. And that gets us on a round 6. Alphabet soup. I am a mere slave to the machine. I have no power. I work within its bounds. That's had a huge impact on scoreboards up and down the table. So let's recalculate it and get it on display for you. Firstly, 3 leaders now at the top of the table going into the final round, which is absolutely nightmare as usual. Team Glenn, Euroquiz, and Lions T. One mobster has dropped a good couple of points. Kev, really not loving that round. Actually, I do need to change your score, Kev, but you'll be on 38 in a moment. Lone Star State and Amazing Team Total Landscaping are now tied on 5th. Amazing Team Total Landscaping jumping up off the back of that awesome 9 where they also got Lesotho. Frazzle Dazzle and the Tadmeisters tied for 7th. Tadmeisters also getting 9 points that round. Quarantine and Turner in 9th. Uncivil Servants running at the top 10. But loads to play for up and down the table. So let's get on to round 6, Alphabet Soup. Our final round of today's general knowledge with a little alphabetical hint. Team Captains should be able to see your answer sheets. And let's go. What 5 letter acronym stands for America's Chief Executive? USCEO is what I would have called him. What 5-letter acronym stands for America's Chief Executive? Question 2. A group of butterflies is officially called a K-blank of butterflies. What does K-blank stand for? Has everyone got the thingamajigger at this stage? Did I see any wrong answers? Everyone has got it. A group of butterflies is officially called a K-blank. Question 3. The famous sculpture entitled P blank is the only piece of art that Michelangelo ever signed. Famous sculpture entitled P blank is the only piece of art that Michelangelo ever signed. Question 4. A female chicken between the ages of 8 weeks and 1 year old is called a P blank. Lots of P blanks today. That's great, Paul. That is a great fact. Female chicken between the ages of 8 weeks and 1 year old is called a P blank. Question 5. In 1907, Joyce Clyde Hall and his older brothers began the Norfolk Postcard Company, now known as a company called H blank. 1907, Joyce Clyde Hall and his older brothers began the Norfolk Postcard Company, now known as a company called H blank. Question 6. This B word traditionally meant the leader of a flock of sheep, and its more modern definition is one that takes the lead or initiative. This B word traditionally meant the leader of a flock of sheep, and its more modern definition is one that takes the lead or initiative. Question 7. The ICPO, or International Criminal Police Organization as it's more commonly known. As the I blank. The ICPO, or International Criminal Police Organization, is more commonly known as the I blank. Finally, question 8. B blank officially became a republic this week. Congrats to B blank. B blank officially became a republic this week. That's all for today, folks. We can put this up. You can see clearly now the pain is gone. I think you've all got it. That is Life is Like a Box of Chocolates. Forrest Gump. Tom Hanks. Still put the correct answer down so that you get the points. But well done to all of you who played. I got that. Let me know again what you think of the concept. Today's was a little bit better in terms of people getting it early and people getting it late, but let me know if there's any things you would do to fine tune it. make it harder to start, or if you just hated it, if you got it straight away and then you were just bored and it just wasted your time for the rest of the quiz, or if you didn't get it straight away and it just sort of ruined the quiz because you felt that people who did get it were getting ahead of you. Let me know that as well, because these are things that are valid feedback. One 5-letter acronym stands for America's Chief Executive. A group of butterflies is called a K-blank. The sculpture entitled P-blank is the only piece of art that Michelangelo ever signed. A female chicken between the ages of 8 weeks and 1 year old is called a P-blank. In 1907, Joyce Clyde Hall and his older brothers began the Norfolk Postcard Company, now known as a company called H. This B word traditionally meant the leader of a flock of sheep, and his more modern definition is one that takes the leader initiative. The ICPO, or International Criminal Police Organization, is more commonly known as the I-blank. B-blank officially became Republic this week. Team captains, you have 2 minutes as always. Then we're going to play a bit of table follow, then we'll go with the answers, and then we will reveal the winners of today's quiz. Very tight at the top of the table, so it could be anybody. Let's give you 2 minutes till 21:23. Today's quiz in general was very hard. Looking over the scores today and seeing some of the scores today, it was a tough quiz. So yeah, well done to all of you. All right, Team Gam's collecting the answer sheet. So if you haven't already hit submit, please hit it. All right, let's play some table follow. All right, it's about to go 21:25. As soon as it does, the game will begin. And you'll have 2 minutes till 21:27. The best of luck. I'll play along. Take me a moment to join. So you guys get about a 10-second head start. This isn't a strong one. I'm struggling to get too many words out of this. $55 left, Team Camus. All right. And that is all. Let's go over some of the answers to the round. Five-letter acronym that we were looking for was POTUS, President of the United States. Group of butterflies is called apparently a kaleidoscope. Kaleidoscope. Famous sculpture that we were looking for is actually called Pieta. A female chicken, oh, I didn't know this. Amazed at how many of you did know this. It's called a pullet. Don't know what that means. Joyce Clyde Hall and his older brothers founded the Hallmark Company. At the time it was called Norfolk Postcard Company. The B word, the leader of a flock of sheep is the bellwether. The bellwether, great word. The ICPO, or International Criminal Police, is more commonly called Interpol. B blank, Barbados. Congratulations, officially became a republic today. So, a huge congratulations to our winners. Let's turn the numbers into the scoreboard for the final time. And we have tied winners today, divided by an incredibly small Tablefish scores. But well done to Euroquizard, who in the end did it on the Forrest Gump guess, and Team Glenn, 48 points apiece. One Mobster on 47, Alliance T on 46. An incredibly intense top four. You guys were all at it the whole way through. Tadmeisters with Biscuits were best of the rest, with some really high scoring rounds over the final three rounds, 8, 9, 8. Right up there with the best. Amazing Team Total Landscaping tied with them in 5th, and then we have Lone Star, Quarantine, and Turner Frazzle Dazzle all tied 1 point off that on 38 for 7th, and Uncivil Servants 1 point off that on 37. Incredible to think Uncivil Servants were 2 points off 5th, and they came 10th. Well done to everyone who had their best rounds of the quiz in the final round. Team Kalala with an 8-pointer, and Quarantine and Turner with the second 8-pointer of the quiz. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you had a good one. I'll stick the contribution details up for a few minutes just as we wrap up. Almost certainly won't be a quiz next week. As I say, unfortunately, I think I'm going to be work traveling again. Hate doing it to you, but I'll be back in 2 weeks for another quiz. If you want to support the quiz, the best thing to do is contribute. But the next best thing to do is to spread the word a bit. As the evenings get a bit iffier and the Omnicrom gets a little bit closer, maybe if there's anyone who has a bit of spare time, you'll send them our way. 8 p.m. every single Tuesday, except the ones where it's not. Anyway, thank you guys so much. From myself, from Katie, from Aidan, from Richie, from Rick, have a savage week. Well done once again to Team Glenn and Euroquizard Harry. Good night.